They let them play the physicality part a lot in that game, and that's why UConn was able to stick with her, and Caitlin had to make timely decisions. But Lisa, I also want to go back to Stokely, what you said. She has to, in that pick and roll, when she gets that ball, she's going to have to make a quick decision because Caitlin Clark is so good at, once she gets rid of the ball, moving into space and going back to receive it.
But that's where I think the difference is. Renee, you talk about the waves and the reserves. South Carolina has a reserve unit that come in where Iowa had a lot of players playing very heavy minutes. And while they've got Cardoso on the inside, you notice NC State, they tried to take away her game. What does South Carolina have different this year they did not have last year? The three-point shooting. Their ability to play inside-outside game, open up the floor, is a major factor to me in how things may look different here today.
Well, that was the biggest thing. When you look at Raven Johnson, and she talked about the disrespect from Caitlin waving her off and allowing her to stay out there and shoot the three ball when she did not have that shot. What's different is that they not only have that shot, pow, pow, is also in the building with the big shot. So when you look at their ability to go from 31% last year from three-point range to 39% this year, that's the biggest difference. They can shoot enough three-pointers to win this game.
What do you think this South Carolina teams, when you had mentioned the defense, held 4 of their 5 opponents under 60 points? We know the way Iowa can score. Who does this benefit in terms of the pace of this game, and if it does become a track meet in a high-scoring game?
Listen, I think Iowa is well-conditioned. We've seen that all year, but there's a difference between having pace and being able to get the ball off the glass, and South Carolina does a good job of advancing the basketball without the dribble. Yeah. I think that's where their athleticism and things really take over, because when they push that ball up the floor, they are attacking at the rim. But I quickly just want to give a shout out to Raven Johnson. You quickly mentioned the disrespect that happened last year. There are a lot of players that would have taken that moment and shied away from it and not being able to step up to the challenge. So kudos to her for working on her craft and saying, I'm coming back and I'm going to be better. And Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks have benefited from that.
Are we excited or what?
I'm excited. If you like basketball, first of all, these are one of those games that if you like basketball, you like high scoring, you get the three-pointers, this is the style of play that people want to watch. An offensive powerhouse on both sides. So it's going to imposes their will.
We're going to get to set for it all. Still to come. A lot to get to today. As if we didn't have enough UConn love here on the Castle's parents. Quinette and Stacy stopped by, plus the story of Resball and how the tradition brought the Page High School Sand Devils a state championship. But first, at the women's Final Four in Cleveland, NCAA corporate champion AT&T, in partnership with the NCAA, hosting Future Makers Cleveland.